Shalom, shalom. To the 144,000, the elect. Before I get started, let me give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah Quadash. Double honor to the apostle nails of great millstone. Peace and blessing to the brothers that are preaching the truth in the four winds of the earth. May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua have mercy upon you. Alright, ain't gonna have a whole lot of precepts tonight, y'all. Cause I gotta get through these videos, all these videos I got here, right? I mean, I'm just trying to. I was waiting to. I don't watch a lot of videos. You know, it's hard to decipher between, especially. You know, I was trying to get a lot of social media information from what was what, and I be going down and I be going out in the comment section to get when I watch the video, I go to the comment section to get a little more reporting of what's what, right? Cause you know it's gonna be two-sided in the comment section. They're gonna be what some going for Iran, some going for America. But hey, it is what it is. We're in what? We're in wartime, and ain't no stopping that's up. But hey, again, we still got what? We still got the most important. Y'all ain't gonna get away that easy. Let me put it that way. Well, we ain't gonna get away that easy. Let me put it that way, y'all. But it's gonna be what that is. Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So the end is not yet. We still what? We still got the most important and last final part of this prophecy is your faith. Who are you going to put your faith in? You going to put your faith in this system, this beast system, or you going to put your faith in what? In Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I know y'all going to run with Jesus, so hey, run on. But that's what's missing. So we're not there yet. Again, Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. All the noise, that rumors goes into what? All that noise, boom, boom, boom. Y'all hear? Y'all see what's happening? Rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine. So in the process of these wars taking place, y'all can get ready. A lot of famine, meaning what? Food prices and food shortages. These things are going to be what? These are part of what? Of Jacob's trouble. Pestilence, diseases. Y'all around here laying out with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Ain't gonna be no more medicine for you to cure your fastness. That's what I'm gonna call it. Ain't gonna be no medicine to cure your fastness. So guess what? And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. So the end is not yet, y'all. You got to suffer a little more. The Most High ain't playing with you. So right here, y'all, I'm starting here on KSDK News. Iran state media confirms Supreme Leader Ali, I can't speak it, what's his name, called Melania, deleted in U.S. Israeli airstrikes. So listen up. Let me turn this up a little bit. Here we go.
Tonight's top story, deadly airstrikes in Iran. How President Trump is justifying the ongoing attacks and his message to the world. We start with breaking news on this developing story from overseas. Hours ago, Iran confirmed their supreme leader was killed after those joint airstrikes from the U.S. and Israel. Thanks for joining us, everyone, at 10. I'm Robert Townsend. Tonight, NBC's Alice Barr leads off our coverage detailing the ongoing deadly attacks, now known as Operation Epic Fury.
In an explosion of violence in Iran, the U.S. and Israel launching airstrikes targeting the country's missile and nuclear programs and senior leadership, with Iran now confirming its supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. He led an intensely repressive regime in Iran for nearly 40 years. Earlier today, President Trump spoke directly to the Iranian people.
When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
Iran's foreign minister had pushed back in an NBC News interview this morning.
Well, I think this is mission impossible.
Let me say this. Ain't that what he said about when he got that Venezuelan president? That he gonna let the people take over the what's going on in the country. But what happened? They had got all of their machines and everything. They're doing what? They're controlling the oil. That's what they doing. So hey, you know, everybody know that Trump lies and he talk out both sides of his neck, and he's not what? Well, ain't no different from all the rest of the president. But hey, Trump just doesn't. I can't even explain it. Can't even express his the way he lies. Here we go.
You know, for regime change.
Iran is retaliating, firing attacks toward Israel and U.S. military bases in the region. President Trump monitoring closely with his national security team and speaking with Israel's prime minister, who argued this war will lead to true peace.
מטרת המבצע לשים קץ לאיום.
Senior Trump administration officials telling reporters Iran was threatening American forces in the region with potential missile strikes, and the U.S. acted preemptively with the long-term goal of preventing Iran from rebuilding its nuclear program after U.S. and Israeli strikes last year. The president saying diplomacy was not working in ongoing nuclear talks.
We will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message.
Anti-war demonstrations breaking out in American cities as the world waits for what's next. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Today, our photojournalist captured anti-war protesters in Forest Park. For hours, you can see they held signs, chanted, and marched. We also saw other protesters lining the streets in Highland, Illinois. Tonight, local politicians are reacting to this developing story. Missouri Congresswoman Ann Wagner praised the Trump administration for the attacks, saying the Israeli strikes, eliminating the Ayatollah, and much of his senior leadership brings this brutal reign of persecution to a definitive and necessary end.
Yeah, I think they're gonna support all that, right? I had to wait. I waited, man. I waited. You know, I'm waiting and looking at, watching this and watching that, and trying to decipher between the BS and what's not, what's true, and what's fake and what's what. And because I know that we know that first time when Trump claimed that he did what he did, everybody was saying that he was dropping bombs on empty targets. Right? So it looks like he got the what they call it, decapitation strikes. Cause that decapitation strike goes into him knocking off their leaders, and it appears that they were successful with it. At least that's what Iran is saying that what happened. Let's go to the next video. Iran state media confirmed again that their supreme leader is deleted. Let's hear it. Bear with me.
After a lifetime of Hosseini struggle, unceasing and untiring, with a lofty and celestial spirit like the steadfast mountain of the... After a lifetime of Hosseini struggle, unceasing and untiring, with a lofty and celestial spirit like the steadfast mountain of the Islamic guardianship, the compassionate father of kindness and resolve, the leader and imam of the Muslims, His Eminence Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Hosseini Khamenei, on the path of upholding the exaltation of the sacred sanctuary of the Islamic Republic of Iran, drank the sweet, pure draught of martyrdom and joined the supreme heavenly kingdom. After a lifetime of Hosseini...
Alright, let's go to, and then after that, this is a, let's go to it right quick. This is a AI generated, it say that this content is analytical commentary based on what? Publicly available information. Now, you know, y'all know this AI, and AI does what? What does AI do? AI generate what? Information and do what? They compile it, and then that's how this video is made. So, ain't no nothing this fake, this, that fake, that, this fake, that. This is AI generated information, which can be what? It's more credible than what damn NBC, ABC, all that BS. Okay? So, get out of your mind everything that AI, that comes out with AI is fake. Alright? It says Iran hit 5 U.S. bases across 4 nations in under 60 minutes. America's entire Gulf strategy just collapsed. Let's see. Let's get into it.
Offices of Iran's supreme leader, and within the hour, Iran did something it has never done in its entire history. It struck back simultaneously across 4 nations, hitting the military architecture America spent 50 years building across the Gulf.
And you know what? I heard this here too, right? Because I seen it early this morning. I probably one of the first one to seen this that happened, right? Cause right after I did my video, you know, they always fuck with my video, man. You know, you mess with my content, my thumbs ups and all that shit. So when I was seen it before it happened, I said in my last video that I think something getting ready to happen, and then it was some hours, a few hours later, it actually happened, right? Because when I do my video, hey man, it take me forever to put my video up, man. They don't I don't know, I can't explain it. Hey, it is what it is, right? But my I be waiting for my video to it ain't no damn internet, because I got fiber, right? So I got the best internet, one of the best internet that one can have. So it's just them fucking with my I know they messing with it, because it's always messing with my thumbs up, my views. I can have 500-600 views in less than an hour and a half or so. Get up the next morning, I ain't got but 35 views, 60 views, or whatever. Hey, but the content that I push out is to the best of my ability. I scrutinize it and I push it forward for what? For the brotherhood and the sisters. So let's get it.
Within the hour, Iran did something it has never done in its entire history. It struck back simultaneously across 4 nations, hitting the military architecture America spent 50 years building across the Gulf. This is not a crisis that is coming. It already arrived. Operation Epic Fury began at 1:15 a.m. Eastern Time Saturday, launched by U.S. Central Command with the explicit goal of dismantling the Iranian regime's security apparatus. CNN Trump said the purpose was to eliminate imminent threats. Then he said something presidents almost never say. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. Stars and stripes. He said it out loud. That is not deterrence language. That is a president telling you he already accepted the cost, and Iran accepted it too. Mm-hmm. Within hours of the first American bomb falling, the Iranian government confirmed attacks on several targets, including Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. Al Jazeera, 4 nations. 4 simultaneous strike packages, all in under 60 minutes. The IRGC issued a statement that carried no diplomatic ambiguity. This operation will continue relentlessly until the enemy is decisively defeated. All U.S. assets throughout the region are considered legitimate targets. Al Jazeera, that is not a warning shot. That is a declaration of total regional war. Now let me show you what actually hit and why it changes everything. The first target was the most symbolic. Bahrain confirmed that a missile attack struck the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, a base for American naval forces that has operated in that country since 1948. France 24.
Yeah, 1948. 1948ers, y'all. Y'all know the 1948ers small hatters.
Think about what that means. The Fifth Fleet is not a forward operating post. It is the nerve center of American naval power across the entire Middle East. Every carrier group, every destroyer patrol, every maritime operation in this region runs through that command structure. Video from a Reuters witness showed a thick plume of gray smoke rising near the coast as sirens wailed. A 50-year-old retiree living near the base said, "The sound of the first explosion terrified me," as residents were quickly evacuated. Stars and stripes. That smoke was not a near miss. That smoke was Iran telling America that no base, no headquarters, no command centers off limits. In Qatar, the stakes were equally enormous. Al Udeid Air Base, the largest U.S. military facility in the entire region, hosts the forward headquarters of CENTCOM.
I'm just letting them get through with all the 4 bases that they hit. And then we're gonna be the 5 bases, U.S. bases. Then we're gonna go to the next video.
America's entire military command for the Middle East, as well as air forces and special operations units. France 24. Iran targeted it. Missiles flew over Doha. Doha shook under several salvos of missiles, with authorities suspending maritime transport. An AFP journalist in Qatar saw one missile destroyed in a puff of white smoke above the city. Arab News. An NPR correspondent standing in Doha described what it sounded like. Here in Doha, in the last few hours, we've heard at least a dozen explosions. The majority of them sound like they were Patriot defense missiles intercepting incoming Iranian missiles. NPR. A dozen explosions in the capital city of one of America's most critical allies. In Kuwait, the target was Ali Al Salem Air Base. That base hosts the 386th Air Expeditionary Wing, which the U.S. military describes as the primary airlift hub and gateway for delivering combat power to all joint and coalition forces across the region. France. 24. Cut that base and you cut the logistics spine of America's entire Gulf operation. 3 Kuwaiti soldiers were injured by shrapnel when the base was targeted. A drone also struck Kuwait's international airport, causing minor injuries to several workers and material damage to the passenger terminal. Arab News 3 soldiers hit, an airport hit, and that was the intercepted attack. In the UAE, the situation was even more alarming. 2 witnesses told AFP they saw smoke rising from Al Dhafra Air Base shortly after explosions were heard in the UAE capital Abu Dhabi. France 24. Al Dhafra is where America bases its most advanced surveillance aircraft and strategic assets for monitoring the entire region. But the missiles did not only hit military targets. One person was killed in Abu Dhabi after falling debris struck them near the St. Regis Hotel and other upscale neighborhoods. NPR, a Pakistani civilian, killed by the debris of a war they had no part in. Later, smoke and flames rose from Dubai's Palm Jumeirah development after a building was damaged. CNBC, the Palm Jumeirah, the most recognizable skyline in the Gulf, now marked by fire. Iraq was not spared either. An Al Jazeera correspondent reported that Erbil Airport in the Kurdish region of northern Iraq was targeted twice on Saturday. Al Jazeera Erbil hosts American troops still operating as part of the international coalition. Iran targeted the airport twice, not once, twice. And while all of this was happening across 4 countries...
And they did all this right here, right? I'm not talking about Iran, I'm talking about America, right? They done all of this, and it's still not going to be what? It's not going to be a regime change. It's not happening. It's not happening. So all that was a waste of time. Well, nothing is a waste of time because everything is of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Simultaneously, a senior Iranian official made a statement that removed every remaining ambiguity. All American and Israeli assets and interests in the Middle East have become a legitimate target. There are no red lines after this aggression. Al Jazeera. No red lines after this aggression. Let that settle for one moment. The framework of restraint that prevented this region from becoming a direct battlefield for decades, the unspoken agreement that certain targets were off limits, was just officially declared void. And here's where the American strategy begins to show its fractures. U.S. Central Command issued a statement saying damage to U.S. installations was minimal and had not affected operations.
They're always lying. Y'all know they're always lying. They're gonna lie anyway. You know, they could be Iran could be what demolish the whole thing. They're gonna say what? No one was hurt, and they only hit the runway. They're gonna lie anyway. You're gonna never get the truth out of them, right? Let's go down a little bit. Let's go down a little bit. Right here, I'm gonna play about a couple more minutes. I'm gonna go to the next video, y'all.
In June 2025, Iran telegraphed its retaliation against Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. They gave advance notice. They were careful. They calibrated for minimal damage. Today was different. This time, Iranian missiles landed in the Gulf with little warning, underscoring that the conflict is viewed in Tehran as an existential threat to the Islamic Republic. Middle East, existential threat. When a regime believes it is fighting for survival, the rules of restraint evaporate. Every war game the Pentagon ran about Iran assumed a regime that wanted to survive above all else. That assumption was always the invisible ceiling on Iranian escalation. Today, that ceiling was removed. And here is what that means for the Gulf monarchies who spent years insisting they could stay neutral. Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and the UAE all temporarily closed their airspace and condemned Iran's attacks on their territories. Middle East Eye. They condemned the attacks, not the operation that triggered the attacks. That silence is its own statement. The only Gulf...
Ain't that so? They condemning them hitting their asses, but they're not condemning what Trump did. Amazing.
Cooperation Council country Iran has not struck today is Oman, the same nation that spent years serving as a diplomatic back channel between Iran and the United States. Al Jazeera. Oman was spared because Oman tried to stop this. Gulf states, particularly Saudi Arabia, Oman, and Qatar, made a failed attempt to prevent the U.S. from launching an attack on Iran. Oman's foreign minister made a last-ditch effort in Washington on Friday evening, meeting U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and appearing on CBS News. The sense of urgency in his voice was obvious as he pleaded with the U.S. to give Muscat more time to mediate. Middle East Eye. He pleaded the night before the bombs fell and was ignored. Now his neighboring countries are burning. Saudi Arabia issued a statement confirming that attacks took place in Riyadh in the eastern region. The kingdom confirmed it had intercepted the attacks and condemned Iran's flagrant violation of sovereignty, while also confirming its readiness to place all its capabilities at their disposal in support of any measures Gulf states might undertake. CNBC. That language matters enormously. Saudi Arabia just said it is ready to support whatever its neighbors do next. That is not...
Y'all see what... Y'all know... You hear. America didn't get away. I'm going to prove that a little further, right? Let's go right here, right? This is KYR military, right? It's a Israel panic. Dozens of missiles fly over Tel Aviv. U.S. worried.
Oh my God. The Tehran sky that night was unlike any other. It wasn't moonlight reflecting off the domes of mosques, nor was it the usual glittering city lights that usually illuminate the Persian capital. What was visible was a flash of light in the distance, followed by a boom, then a tremor that was felt throughout the city. While the world was still discussing nuclear negotiations, while diplomats were still sitting at the negotiating table, the reality on the ground had changed drastically. Military strikes from Israel and the United States had struck strategic targets in Iran. To many, this felt sudden. But to geopolitical analysts, it was the accumulation of years of tension. Iran, a country with thousands of years of history that had faced invasion, revolution, embargo, and an 8-year war with Iraq, was being tested once again. And as its history suggests, Iran has never been a country that collapses simply because of external pressure. That night, the world didn't just witness an explosion, it witnessed a shift in the balance of power in the Middle East.
You see that? Y'all didn't see that? Let me go to that off again. I'm gonna roll that back a little bit. Roll that back. Right. I want to see that again. Let's see that again.
Embargo, and an 8-year war with Iraq was being tested once again. And as its history suggests, Iran has never been a country that collapses simply because of external pressure. That night, the world didn't just witness an explosion, it witnessed a shift in the balance of power in the Middle East. The biggest question arose. Why did the attack occur when diplomacy was still incomplete? On paper, nuclear negotiations...
Because that's what they do. Just like in June when they went back and forth when Iran hit Israel and they wanted Trump to stop the war. That's what they do. They'll shake your hand, then turn right around, and then you go turn around and leave. They'll shoot you dead in the back. This is what they do. These devils, there's no Israel and them small hatters in America, Babylon. That's what they are. That's how they do it. And they still ain't learned.
Negotiations should have been the solution. However, the political reality was far more complex. Israel had for years viewed Iran's missile capabilities and nuclear potential as an existential threat. For Telephone Afif, the threat wasn't theoretical. It was a matter of life and death. Meanwhile, the United States, as a global power, didn't want another Middle Eastern country to have military influence capable...
Let's go to the next video, y'all. I don't want all that talk. Let's go to the next video right here. Here we go. U.S. Navy HQ destroyed in Bahram, Iran's RRGC hits America's 5th Fleet base and warship. Here's more proof concerning what? The last base.
Line, raw, chaotic. The first visuals are now surfacing online, raw, chaotic, and chilling, allegedly showing an Iranian drone strike on the largest U.S. naval base in the Middle East. In the footage, what appears to be a Shahed 136 attack drone cuts through the sky, striking near the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet in Bahrain. Explosions erupt, black smoke spirals upward, and the scale of the attack is unmistakable. While the authenticity of the video has not yet been independently verified, the images alone underscore the intensity of the confrontation. Earlier, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, claimed it delivered a direct and punishing blow to the United States at sea. In a sharply worded statement, the IRGC said its naval forces fired missiles that severely struck a U.S. military Sealift Command combat support vessel operating in regional waters.
Oh shit! Oh.
Tehran framed the strike as part of an expanding retaliation against what it calls a massive joint assault carried out by Washington and Israel, a stark warning that the confrontation is escalating and far from over. The battlefield is spreading. Iranian forces also claim they struck a U.S. naval base in Bahrain, extending the conflict from open waters to one of the most strategically sensitive military hubs in the Gulf.
Man, they actually bombed that base in Qatar. They actually bombed it twice. I know, I've seen it. I've seen several videos on it. Not that news crap. I'm talking about I was online. So it got hit twice. Iran bombed American that fifth, what's it called, Fifth Navy fleet in Bahrain, right? U.S. Navy base.
Video circulating online shows massive plumes of black smoke rising near the Fifth Fleet headquarters in Manama, a city suddenly under fire, its skyline scarred by explosions.
And Israel had went a step further, and what they did, they bomb. They said they were going to Israel shipping routes, that they're going to bomb that too. So Iran finna put that work in on them small hatters over there.
The full extent of the damage remains unknown, and Washington has yet to issue official confirmation. But the symbolism is clear. The United States' regional command structure itself has been targeted, and the stakes could not be higher. And yet, the most dramatic development may be Iran's assertion that it directly hit an American naval support vessel. If verified, it would mark one of the most serious strikes on U.S. naval assets in years, a bold escalation at sea with far-reaching consequences. With drones patrolling the skies, missiles streaking across regional waters, and critical U.S. installations under threat, the confrontation has entered uncharted territory. Every passing hour magnifies the risk of further escalation, pushing the region closer to a flashpoint that could ignite a far broader conflict. The world is watching as the Gulf becomes a tinderbox where a single misstep could ignite a chain reaction with global repercussions.
I can turn your wildest ideas.
See, that's where that truth come from right there. Huh? That's where that truth come from, them damn phones.
Iranian state television, IRIB, has released dramatic footage showing ballistic missiles being launched toward Israel and U.S. military bases across the region. The launches mark Tehran's thunderous retaliation after U.S. President Donald Trump declared that major combat operations had been carried out jointly by the United States and Israel inside Iran, an announcement that ignited one of the most volatile escalations in the region in years. According to
Man, they say they flew about 25 to 30 planes and bombed that, and that's how they got them. So they bombed it, they leveled it. You know what? Damn, I forgot to put that video up. They might show it in here.
U.S. officials, Israel targeted senior Iranian political and military figures, while American forces focused on degrading Iran's ballistic missile and nuclear infrastructure. In response, Iran unleashed missiles not only toward Israel, but also toward U.S. bases across the Middle East, including installations in the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan. The retaliatory strikes sent shockwaves across the region, triggering air defense systems and raising fears of a widening war. Iran has struck Gulf states hosting U.S. military bases in the region. Multiple explosions were reportedly heard in key cities of UAE, Qatar, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia. According to the Fars news agency, Iran has confirmed targeting Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, Al Salem Air Base in Kuwait, Al Dathra Air Base in the UAE, and one more base in Bahrain. According to AFP, Abu Dhabi and Doha reported blasts hours after Israel and the U.S. conducted joint attacks on Iran. President Trump, in a video address, urged Iranians to take over your government, calling the moment a turning point. But Tehran pushed back strongly. In an exclusive interview, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Iran is open to de-escalation and willing to talk, but only if U.S. and Israeli attacks stop immediately. He dismissed calls for regime change as mission impossible. The escalation erupts in defiance of fragile nuclear negotiations that had promised a narrow path away from war. Even as diplomats huddled over proposals to curb Iran's nuclear program, U.S. forces were quietly but unmistakably reinforcing their presence across the region. Warships repositioned, aircraft deployed, defenses tightened, preparing for a storm that now appears to have broken. Tehran says the joint strikes shattered diplomacy at its most delicate hour, splintering talks just as a breakthrough seemed within reach. Now, with missiles carving fiery arcs across the night sky, words have given way to weapons. Ballistic missiles launched, regional bases targeted. The confrontation has crossed a
So, man, we here. We here, but hey, not yet. Here we go. On cam, right? On cam, Iranian missile breaches U.S. Patriot shield. Hits Udeid base. Don't quote me on that. In Qadar, Daha. Check it out.
Shocking footage now emerging from the Gulf, claiming to capture a high-speed Iranian ballistic missile making its way toward a major U.S. military installation, and Patriot air defense systems failing to stop it. In this clip, 3 Patriot air defense missiles fire in rapid succession, each attempting to intercept the incoming warhead. But against expectations, all 3 interceptors failed to connect. The warhead continues its deadly trajectory, slicing through the sky as defenses scramble.
They shot 3 at it, and they missed it.
The Iranian ballistic missile warhead targeted the Al Udeid air base in Qatar, a key hub for U.S. operations in the Middle East. Al Udeid houses thousands of U.S. and coalition personnel, along with critical command and logistics elements. The base has been central to American military efforts across the region. Al Udeid also came under Iranian attack last year in response to...
You tell telling me Esau, the so-called white man, he ain't the wicked of the earth. He ain't the wicked. He don't rule the whole earth. Come on, man, cut it out, man. Y'all cut it out, man. Man got Air Force Base in people's backyard.
Israel and America's strikes that killed several officials and damaged nuclear sites in Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordow. Defense officials are now assessing damage and personnel safety as tensions remain dangerously high following a series of retaliatory strikes between Iran, the United States, and allied forces.
Looking for tax help?
I ain't gonna be long, y'all. I'm hit 2, maybe 3 precepts. You know, where the spirit allow me to go that way, I'm gonna go.
Iranian state television, IRIB, has released dramatic footage showing ballistic missiles being launched toward Israel and U.S. military bases across the region. The launches mark Tehran's thunderous retaliation after U.S. President Donald Trump declared that major combat operations had been carried out jointly by the United States and Israel inside Iran, an announcement that ignited one of the most volatile escalations in the region in years. According to U.S. officials, Israel targeted senior Iranian political and military figures, while American forces focused on degrading Iran's ballistic missile and nuclear infrastructure. In response, Iran unleashed missiles not only toward Israel, but also toward U.S. bases across the Middle East, including installations.
See, this is like the third video mentioning the Air Force Base. You know what? I ain't went to the comments yet, y'all. Let me go ahead I guess I'll do it in this video here. It does a what? A nutmeg, 3 patriots like Pell taking a what? A defender. In other words, you talking about the missiles that they hit shot three missiles, and neither one of them hit that ballistic missile that came in, hit that base. Patriots just garbage, right? Let's see. Knight says it's a terrorist air base. That's what it is. Damnation says tension remains dangerously high. Tension that the USA and Israel caused with their latest unprovoked attack on Iran. What's new? Patriots are too old and too slow to stop maneuverable hypersonic missiles. So that's what Iran is shooting, hypersonic missiles. Bill Pro say no, ceasefire. How can Iran trust an enemy who hates it? Well, Sanjir, go Iranian, be strong. That ain't gonna be the damn name, goddamn weird name. Good job, Iran. Do it 500 times more. That is not even the latest in Iran inventory. They are reserving the best for last. You know what? And he's not lying, because that's how they did Israel. Iran is gonna use the same strategy that they used on small hatters. Remember when they asked ran out of ammo, and then guess what? It's gonna be up. They're gonna do the same thing. They too far off. They can't shoot as much as them. They're gonna allow them to keep doing what they're doing. Well, they still gonna hit back, but that ain't the best of their best. That only happened. Migu says that only happens because what the this come Babu later battery was low. Otherwise, it has, I don't know what the hell this is. Camilla says, what you reap, you shall sow. Laugh out loud. I don't want to hear that. I'm trying to get one good one here, y'all. Everybody got this short shit. Wait, I'm seeing correctly. These Iranian ballistic missiles are changing course almost like a football play. That's exactly what that missile did. Like it changed course and went around the two missiles that were right there by it. Went right on around it. Let's play a little more. And I'm gonna hit a couple precepts, y'all. I'm gonna close this out.
Nations in the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan. The retaliatory strikes sent shockwaves across the region, triggering air defense systems and raising fears of a widening war. Iran has struck Gulf states hosting U.S. military bases in the region. Multiple explosions were reportedly heard in key cities of UAE, Qatar, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia. According to the Fars news agency, Iran has confirmed targeting Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, Al Salem Air Base in Kuwait, Al Dothra Air Base in the UAE, and one more base in Bahrain. According to AFP, Abu Dhabi and Doha reported blasts hours after Israel and the U.S. conducted joint attacks on Iran. President Trump, in a video address, urged Iranians to take over your government, calling the moment a turning point. But Tehran pushed back strongly. In an exclusive interview, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Iran is open to de-escalation and willing to talk, but only if U.S. and Israeli attacks stop immediately. He dismissed calls for regime change as mission impossible. The escalation erupts in defiance of fragile nuclear negotiations that had promised a narrow path away from war. Even as diplomats huddled over proposals to curb Iran's nuclear program, U.S. forces were quietly but unmistakably reinforcing their presence across the region. Warships repositioned, aircraft deployed, defenses tightened, preparing for a storm that now appears to have broken. Tehran says the joint strikes shattered diplomacy at its most delicate hour, splintering talks just as a breakthrough seemed within reach. Now, with missiles carving fiery arcs across the night sky, words have given way to weapons. Ballistic missiles launched, regional bases targeted. The confrontation has crossed a perilous threshold. The coming hours will decide whether this remains a contained cycle of retaliation or ignites into a wider regional war with consequences far beyond the battlefield.
Alright, yeah, I'm going to take this time out of the history precept. I'm going to close this out. Like 40 some minutes. I did my best on reporting this.
Wasting money.
This, y'all give me a minute. They trying to make their little money. Let's see. I'm done. We'll leave Trump on there. Okay? Let's go to actually 50 and 45. The least of the flock. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he has taken against Babylon, which is America, and his purposes that he has what proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. That's Esau, Edom. Surely the least of the flock is who? Amalek. And what they have did, they have definitely drawn out Babylon, America, in a war that don't have anything to do with them. So these people, the world is not crazy, right? The world sees and knows that Israel controls America. It's obvious. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he has taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he has what proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate when with them. At the noise of taking of Babylon, America, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. So this is definitely future prophecy that that you all are seeing on the world stage. And that's another one in 49, ain't it, man? Let me read that one too. 49, I think it's about the same, but it's just, I think it read a little different. Jeremiah 49 and verse 20. Surely, no, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he has taken against Edom. Who is Edom, y'all? Esau. The Edomites. The so-called white man. That he has taken against Edom, and his purposes that he has proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Like I say, that's Amalek, right? The least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall what? Shall make their habitation desolate with what? With them. So we are definitely in what, in the last days of what of America receiving and getting ready to what? To receive that judgment. Let's go to Job 14 right quick. Job 14 and verse 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds, that he cannot pass. So, how do we know this? Because the scriptures is very clear concerning what's going to transpire, who's going to take part in it, right? But the whole world, every military, the whole world are going to take part in the destruction of that goes into their ally, which is EU, along with damn, y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I been getting stuck on that. I've been getting stuck on that for the last few days, man. God damn, y'all. Y'all bear with me. It's late. It's always late. Most of the time, it be real late, right? EU and NATO. Before I even got to, I thought about it. EU and NATO, y'all, which is what? Which is the allies of America. So they're going to what? They're going to find themselves caught in the crosshairs with what? With their allies, as well as Russia, which is God, and China, right? Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bound that he cannot pass. Job 21 and verse 20. His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty. So the Most High is going to take these devil out. You know, once them missiles start reaching the America in the skies of America, the elect are going to be taken up, and in the process of the elect being taken up, the angels are going to what? Those missiles are going to be directed by what? By the Lord, Yahweh. What are you talking about? Yeah. If you ain't spiritual, then guess what? You won't get it. You will not get it. Real quick, chapter Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and 1. A wise judge would instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Meaning, you know, there's nothing Trump is doing. He's not being cautious or careful, and definitely not wise in his decisions and what he's doing. Because for one thing, again, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh is controlling his actions. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is. Such are all they that dwell therein. You know, a lot of those soldiers, they don't want to be part of it, but those heads, they are the ones that are controlling. Just like I done that with that that ship with all those soldiers on there. They were clogging the tar. They want to go home, but a lot of them gonna be what? Gonna be food for gonna be fish food. They're not going home, right? They're gonna run. They're gonna run out of ammo, and Iran is gonna be they're gonna get hit. America's not gonna leave from over there and not be where they basically getting hit already. You know, who knows what's going on in the last few hours that has not been reported on news, because you're not gonna get the truth out of the American news sources. Ecclesiastes 10 and 3. And wise king destroyeth his people. So Trump going to end up destroying America as a whole. We hope that he's the last and final chapter in this in the last days of Yahweh Shem Yahweh. Verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. That meaning what that is, that's Proverb, what is it? I think it's 29, Proverbs 29 and verse, I almost got right on, 29 and 16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, meaning sins, wickedness. But the righteous, which is Israel, which is during this time, which is going to be starting with the elect, the righteous shall see their fall. So we're going to see the fall of what? Of the wicked. And we're going to be witness of what? Of the death and destruction of America. The elect, along with Yahweh Shai and the angels, we're going to be a witness in what? In America getting it just due. Drop down to verse 6. No, verse 7. Pride is hateful before thy power, in man, and by what? By both do one commit iniquity, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit. And who has gotten more what? The riches have injured more people than what? Than America, right? And Edomites. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So the time is up. Why is the earth ashes proud? Who's more proud than Esau, Edom? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. And the world is witnessing the what? America being so covetous until they're what? They're taking countries, kidnapping presidents. Why is earth ashes so proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such and one that what? That setteth his own soul to sell, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. Trump will shake your hand and then turn right around and what? And shoot you in the back. Right? Last but least, verse 10 of all Ecclesiasticus 10 and 10. The physician. Who is the physician? The physician is Yahweh Shah, you're ignorantly called Jesus. Cutteth off a long disease. So America is that disease of the earth, which is a form of what? Of cancer. Right? They are definitely, America, Babylon is definitely the cancer of the earth. The physician cutteth off a long disease. And he that is today a king, Babylon, America, they are what? Esau, Edom, they are what? They are definitely the kings of the earth. Today a king, tomorrow shall die. So that knows they call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash, Shalom.